In this video, I want to take a look at a bunch of super cheap PlayStation 4 game deals that are available at Best Buy. Not a lot of notable games, however, the games are down to just $7.99. So I did want to give that a mention, and it does look like Amazon is price matching them, although it looks like those Amazon price match copies are going out of stock very quickly. So we'll talk that, and Kojima says Death Stranding was profitable, and another big project recently fell through, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And Techland gives us a little bit of an update with Dying Light 2, so we'll talk that at the end of this video. But again, starting things off, Best Buy's got a $7.99 PS4 game deal sale. The games include Space Hulk Standard Edition, Space Hulk Ascension, Tempest 4000, All-Star Fruit Racing, Flipping Death, Max the Curse of Brotherhood, Operation Warcade, Apex Construct Standard Edition, which is pretty good, Smash Hit Plunder, and Kotodama, The Seven Mysteries of Fujisawa Standard Edition. I can't believe I just said that without butchering the pronunciation of any of those words. At least I don't think I did. Nevertheless, the good ones here, I would say, are Flipping Death and Tempest 4000. Those are quite good. Space Hulk isn't terrible. It's not the greatest game in the world, but it's definitely worth $7.99. And you're getting physical copies of the game as well, so I know a lot of you guys do value that, and at $8 a pop, that is pretty good. As far as the game's availabilities on Amazon, Kotodama is available, and as is Smash Hit Plunder. It looks like everything else has gone out of stock. Oh, Space Hulk is also in stock, so you can check that out as well. And I should be remiss if I didn't mention Flipping Death is also in stock on Amazon. So Amazon does have a couple of those games, but Tempest 4000 and a bunch of the other games are out of stock, which is a little bit unfortunate. Again, these games aren't world beaters by any stretch of the imagination. These aren't games that, you know, typically go for $60 or anything like that. They're $20 games, but the fact that they are down to $8, probably worth a buy right now. Alright, moving on from that, Kojima says Death Stranding was profitable and another big project has recently fallen through. Hideo Kojima was featured in an interview published today by the Japanese website Live Door, although it was conducted roughly at the end of March, so it's a little bit of a dated interview, however, still relatively relevant. As usual, Kojima went over a great deal of topics, though eventually he also circled back to his most recent game, Death Stranding, and discussed its success. Noting we exceeded the amount needed to be profitable, so I think Death Stranding did well enough to be called a success, including the recoupment of development costs. We'll be releasing the PC version as well, and we've got enough money to prepare for the next project, so there's no need to worry. The interviewer followed up on the reply, and Kojima revealed that a big project his studio was working on had been cancelled. He didn't seem to take it too badly, though. I can't talk about this because it's still in the planning stages, but we were working behind the scenes. Just recently a big project fell through, so I'm a bit upset for that. Well, that happens often in the gaming industry. And lastly, the interview wanted to know whether the rumors that had been floating around of Kojima Productions picking up the rights for the Metal Gear Solid and PT IPs from Konami had any grain of truth to them, and unfortunately, it looks like they didn't. Oh, that's completely false. At least I didn't hear anything about it at all. I mean, at the same time, would Kojima really be giving us the information that they had acquired the IPs on that? Even still, I don't think a deal like that is going to be worked out, just because it still seems like Konami and Kojima have a relatively strained relationship. I think we would need a middleman like a Sony coming in and at least brokering in a deal with Konami and then letting Kojima develop a game based on that IP, and unfortunately, I don't think Kojima wants to be put in that position. I don't know, I don't want to be speaking for the man, but that is just my anecdotal observation. Nevertheless, whatever game Kojima puts out is going to be compelling. Even if Death Stranding wasn't entirely your cup of tea, it was a game that I found riveting, and at the very least, you could say that it's a very, very unique experience, if nothing else, and it's a game that I personally did really enjoy. I understand people's qualms about it, however, it was promoted from the start that this is UPS driving and walking simulator, you know, UPS mailman delivery simulator, but hey, it did the mailman simulator the best it could. A fantastic story that was engaging, and the visuals in the world were top tier. I mean, those were some of the best graphics we've seen on a PlayStation 4 game. Do I put the game at the tier of a God of War? No, not necessarily, just because it's a different style of experience, and I don't even know how to come across when talking about a game like Death Stranding because it's such a unique experience, and it's not like we have a barometer to gauge this game with just because it's trying something so different, but this is what I talk about when talking about Death Stranding. You need games like Death Stranding that try to innovate, because innovation ultimately moves the medium forward, and a lot of games will use Death Stranding and look at it as a case study, see what it did right, see what it did wrong, and then refine the experience from then on. But somebody has to be first, in the sense that they have to innovate, they have to create that project, they have to do something interesting, something new. And if Kojima wanted to be the guinea pig and try something that is so innovative with Death Stranding, and maybe a lot of people didn't enjoy it, well, ultimately ultimately they have offered a baseline for a lot of other developers and publishers to look at, and now they can use it again as a case study, and they can learn what to do, what not to do, and I think it's something that is a great observational lesson for developers around the world. Maybe I'm giving Death Stranding a little bit too much credit, but that's really how strongly I felt about the game, and I really give it a lot of credit for that. And even fundamentally as a game, I enjoyed my time with Death Stranding. Look, it was promoted from the get-go that this is going to be Mailman Simulator. So if you were going into the game expecting this tactical espionage action-adventure title like a Metal Gear Solid game, you were going to be disappointed, but your expectations shouldn't have been like that anyway. Regardless, the game broke even. It is a profitable game, and for a game like Death Stranding that is a little bit off the wall, that does have some interesting elements that might not be for everyone, it just getting to that profitable threshold, I think that's a big success. Lastly, Techland wants a surprise with Dying Light 2 release date announcement currently in its final stretch of development. I'm hoping Dying Light 2 will be out in 2020. There's been a little bit of controversy regarding Techland as a studio and what they've been doing. Nevertheless, the Dying Light 2 release date might be revealed soon as the game has entered its final stretch of development. A lot has been said and written with the last month regarding Techland's upcoming survival horror sequel and the rumored acquisition of the Polish development studio. The title was delayed indefinitely back in January of this year, and following the acquisition rumors, Techland's PR representative was quick to state that the studio will remain independent. So what about the game's development, and what will we be getting a new release date? Well, as revealed by lead game designer Timon Smektala in a recent interview with The Escapist, the initial report that mentioned the rumored acquisition of Techland and Dying Light 2's troubled development contains many inaccuracies, and the game is actually moving forward, noting development of Dying Light 2 is moving forward according to our internal schedule we revised at the beginning of the year. We've had a Dying Light 2 vertical slice for over 4 years. The foundations remain the same since we have started work on production. However, the natural process for any creative work on a game is the evolution of individual components. This is dedicated by factors such as optimization, improvement, or extension of extremely promising elements. When asked about a new release date and whether the game will use Microsoft Xbox Series X smart delivery feature, he noted, quote, "There's a whole team at Techland that works on the announcement of the release date for the game and every piece of info that accompanies it, and I know they want to surprise players, so I don't want to spoil it for them or our community. The only thing I can say is please trust us. It's the last stretch for this project and we need your support." Him saying it's the last stretch of the project makes me think that it is going to be out later this year. If it is out later this year, I think it would be a very big disservice if it didn't end up being a cross-generation title, and I believe it is. I don't know if that's a confirmed thing. Nevertheless, Dying Light is a game that really accentuated its technical prowess and its technical greatness. How can you really accentuate that when the next generation console is going to be out and you're still playing a PS4 game when all the rage as far as the technical side things on consoles is going to be on the Series X and the PlayStation 5? So I do think ultimately Dying Light 2 will be a next-gen title on top of being a current-gen game. Dying Light 1 was a game that I really enjoyed. It was one of my favorite games of early this generation. Unfortunately, it came out so early that a lot of you guys probably picked up your PS4 well after the game came out, so maybe you missed out on it. If you have the opportunity, go back and play Dying Light 1 because it's a great game. However, Dying Light 2 does look to be a considerably better experience, so that is incredibly exciting. However, I still want to keep my expectations a little bit tempered because Dying Light 2 is looking really good, but I don't want to, you know, overshoot my expectations where ultimately the game ends up disappointing me like a Mafia 3 did. But so far, what I'm seeing of Dying Light 2, I am very much intrigued by. That's going to conclude this video. Again, check out the Best Buy sale that is available, $7.99 on a lot of PS4 games. Death Stranding was a profitable release, and Dying Light 2 should be coming out relatively soon as it hits the final stretch of development. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.